John, you've just gone out of the PLO event. Can you tell us how you exited?
I had two major hands which hurt me a lot. An earlier hand crippled me when the chips went in with a top pair and nut straight draw for me against a bottom pair and nut flush draw, which he hit. But then my exit hand was a more straightforward nut flush, which I held against quads, which wasn't what I wanted to see at that point.
You're best known for your RAS performance in Vegas last year, and we've got the APAT RAS event tomorrow. Before we talk about that one, can you just take us through your performance in Vegas and where that leaves you from a rankings point of view as far as British RAS players are concerned?
Well, there's been a general underperformance with RAS in the World Series. There aren't many British players who enter it, and then there aren't many who finish high. Mickey Wernick is the standout player because I think he's entered it twice and reached final table twice. But for instance, the World Series just gone, there's one British player I think who finished in the money. But wherever it was, we were very underrepresented, as we were last year and as we generally are. It's just not a game that many people play in Britain, apart from in horse tournaments, and people don't tend to specialise in it.
And what sort of challenges do you think will you face tomorrow as far as the APAT RAS event is concerned?
There are three levels in RAS. There's the players who don't know what they're doing, and hopefully there aren't too many of those. The players who will play their cards as they see them. And then obviously there's the level where you'll play what you think other people have, and I suspect most people will be playing at the second level, which is fine if the cards they have are worse than the cards you have, but it does mean that I'd expect there to be a lot of outdraws and people not folding, which makes it harder to win chips.
So being an experienced RAS player, how frustrating is it to enter a tournament like that, knowing that, from a technical point of view, you're ahead of many of those players, but it's still a minefield to get through? How difficult a challenge is that to have to deal with?
Well, of all the poker variations, RAS probably has the smallest margin between a winning hand and a losing hand, and it can change so as dramatically as a small margin can change. It can change from street to street. So whereas in Hold'em you can have an 80% advantage and you'll be unlucky to get outdrawn, in RAS you might only have a 10% advantage, which makes it slightly easier because it means that you're more expecting to be outdrawn, but slightly harder in that you'll get outdrawn more often.
Well, tomorrow's event, I believe, is the first RAS event in the UK. Can you see RAS taking off over here?
Like I said, RAS and Stud are both games which aren't played so much in the UK. I think the demand for these APAT events will be a good indicator of how much general demand there is, and hopefully it will stoke even more interest for the future.
Well, thanks for talking to us, John, and good luck tomorrow.
Thanks.